you want someone wants to get up on the mic? Okay, take it.
Oh, never mind, she did it.
Okay, never mind. They got somebody.
All right, y'all. We are doing a sound check for the Rise Up for Abortion Rights rally that is starting at 3 o'clock here in Union Square. Give yourself a round of applause, those that are here. Post on your social media to call out those who are not to come join us. There's still time. Get to Union Square. This is a sound check. Check. I'm Chantel, an organizer with RISEUP4ABORTIONRIGHTS.org. If you are not signed up with this movement, talk to me when I get off this stage. Keep going. On the same mic. All right, let's hear. We are rallying here at Union Square to keep abortion legal. We need to keep abortion legal. We are rising up for abortion rights today, not just in New York City, but across the country. We're rising up in Honolulu. We're rising up in Detroit, Chicago, Los Angeles, Austin, Boston, there's more, Atlanta. We're rising up across the country, Berkeley, the Bay Area, to say in Seattle too, DC. We're rising up for abortion on demand and without apology. This is a sound check. The rally will start at 3 o'clock in a few minutes. All right. Is this the only mic I'm checking? Hey guys, again, check the other one. I'm Chantel. I'm an organizer with RISEUP4ABORTIONRIGHTS.org. If you do not follow us on social media, follow us right now so you stay connected. Maybe let's try this thing out. Look at this, what I made. Woo! See if you can scan this QR code so you can make sure to follow us on social media. We have another one at the organizing table too. We'll have it held up. But come to the organizing table, talk to me, because whoever's here, it's important that you're here, but it's not, we need thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people flooding the streets of New York City. So I do want to give everyone a round of applause for being here. It's really important. Post it on your social media right now. Say, get your butts to Union Square to rise up for abortion rights, to keep abortion legal. Keep sharing on social media. Make a donation right now. We have a Cash App that is Rise Up for Abortion. Send us a donation there. All this takes money. This stage, this sound, these bandanas, the flyers that were spreading the word, the posters that maybe you saw on the train. RISEUP4ABORTIONRIGHTS.org. And if you're here for the rally, we have the
turned up day. So the paper said, find a turned up day. Not Medicaid. Restrictions took her choice away. Televangelists and the politics made Jenny Jimenez. Praying in the light, bombing in the night. They wave their roses red, but roses dead. Get your laws off me, I'm not your property. Don't plan my family, I'll plan my own. I don't want to be in your theocracy. Remember liberty, remember Rose.
Alright, first of all, I want to call everybody that's on that side, come closer to the stage. Come fill this side up. And grab signs We're here on this International Women's Day. Oh, before anything, my name is Michelle. I'll be your MC today.
My name is Brianna. I'll also be your MC today. It's nice to see everyone here. We're here because we want abortion on demand and without apology.
Yes!
That's right. So, look, everybody here is in the right place. We're here today with our sisters and brothers in Los Angeles, in Atlanta, in Boston, Chicago, Cleveland, DC, Detroit, Honolulu, San Francisco, and Seattle to say we refuse to let the U.S. Supreme Court deny women's humanity and decimate their rights. So I want to say everybody here is in the right place. This is where you need to be, and this is where many more people need to be today. Rising up and saying abortion on demand and without apology. I want to hear you say it. Abortion on demand and without apology. All right. Okay. Rally with Merle Hoffman, who is the founder and CEO of Choices Women's Medical Center. She's an author, an activist, and an initiator of RISEUP4ABORTIONRIGHTS.org. So give it up for Merle Hoffman.
Hi everybody. Hello, I love this crowd and happy International Women's Day. There's a lot of activities going on. There are events, rallies. I'm getting things in my email by this, by that for International Women's Day. But how many of you know that International Women's Day was born in struggle? In 1908, you had thousands of women marching down the garment district, garment workers asking, demanding for better working conditions, for higher pay, and the right to vote, So I do not see this as purely a day to celebrate. What I see this as a day for commitment and recommitment to what I consider the transcendent cause. The price is constant vigilance and patience. 33 years ago, I took my hanger, the same hanger, 33 years ago, I took my hanger and had an action at St. Patrick's Cathedral because Operation Rescue was invading clinics, including mine in New York. We had activists arrested. They wrote that this is a turning point, that this movement will definitely stop any enemies. Obviously, the point did not turn. The point did not turn. Now, a week and a half ago, on February 27th, I was with Rise Up again at St. Patrick's Cathedral, and some of those people are here today, and they had more arrests, more intense commitment. But again, where are we? We're steps back, steps back. Have you read and do you know about the women who are marching in San Salvador? Yes, you know that. Now, what we need, that action, that rising, that rage has to come to this country, has to come here, and it has to come here now. It has to come here now. And it has to come with radical empathy and radical compassion, because every woman could be me and every woman could be you. Every woman could be you. Yes, in 1989 I was in Kathmandu, right? On International Women's Day, and they were marching for the right of women to own property, okay? But they were chaining women to cells for having miscarriages. Because they thought they were having abortions. That was the level of the ignorance. Then, in the Black ambition. All right. They say all politics is local. And that when it comes to women's suffering, we don't have to look far, do we? We look at Texas, look at Mississippi, we look at all those states who have gone on and on and on to obstruct women's freedom. There is even a law that one of the states has come up with that even if a woman says, I think I'm going to kill myself if I am forced to have this child, that is no reason. Potential suicide is no reason to allow an abortion. I am a warrior healer. I have been since having choices for 51 years, 2 years before Roe v. Wade, one of the first clinics in the country, a warrior healer. I've been bombed, I've been evicted, I've had death threats, bomb threats, and the patients still come in now with all these anti-choice activists screaming at them that they're killing their baby, and if it happens to be a woman of color, they say, you are desecrating the legacy of Martin Luther King. So my life is a battlefield, and it's been a battlefield for many of the women and the clinic providers, and at this point, I want to talk about and ask everybody for a couple to legal abortion. Now, please remember that the act of choosing whether or not to have a child is often an act of love, but it is always an act of survival, always an act of survival. I had an abortion, I made that choice, I live with that choice, and I stand by my moral autonomy and my ability to do so. How dare they? How dare they? How dare they play with our lives and our dreams in their political, ideological, theological games? Our lives belong to us. The power of the state must stop at our skin. We must draw the line in the sand. Be a warrior healer, be a warrior of light. Light. Your body is your country. Your body is your country, your dreams are your own. Protect and defend them. If not you, us, then who? And if not now, when?
Sokol, and real quick, Gloria Steinem is an author and a feminist activist. So, Lori Sokol, everyone.
That's Gloria Steinem. I just want to make sure it's clearly stated. Yes, I'm going to read a statement from the incomparable and iconic Gloria Steinem, whom I'm also very proud to call a dear friend. Because the desire to control wombs and birth giving is the very definition of patriarchy, power over women's bodies has always come first. The morning after Hitler was elected, for instance, his very first act was to padlock the family planning clinics and declare abortion to be a crime against the state. The freedom to have or not have an abortion, the freedom to have or not have children is a freedom at least as fundamental as freedom of speech. Yet because its absence takes freedom away from women first, it may not be seen as fundamental to everyone, male and female. I thank everyone who has gathered here today and speaking up for this fundamental freedom. There is nothing more basic or important for all of life on this fragile spaceship Earth. I am with you, and I also thank my friend Lori Sokol for bringing you these words. With love and sisterhood, Gloria Steinem. People, women like her, I need to be out there in the streets, not just writing behind a computer and putting it out there. There is nothing like being out in the streets, stepping up and standing up. So as we see Argentina, right now, Colombia last week, finally abortion has been decriminalized, and now we have, right now, thousands of women are marching in El Salvador to do the same thing, to decriminalize abortion. So that's what we all have to do, and I hope this is just one of many rallies and marches that you all attend, and spread the word as RISEUP4ABORTIONRIGHTS.org continues to post and hold these rallies throughout the country. Thank you.
Hi, you guys. It's cold, huh? But we're here for such an important reason. I'm so honored to be here. I've been working for full reproductive rights for all people, and I've had an abortion. There's so many grueling stories about women who have lost their health and many times their lives in unsafe, illegal abortions. Some pregnant as victims of rape, incest, or lower income women, young working women, or students who are unable to get the care that they deserve. All reasons are personal. All reasons are important. I'm fortunate that my story did not end in abuse or illness. The patronizing doctor with the gelled hair frowned at me and said, "Well, you've gotten yourself into this mess. Do you know what you're going to do about it? Do you know who the father is?" I was 19. I had only had sex with one person ever at that point, and we had just broken up during a production of Godspell. I know. The pompous doctor repeated, "So, do you know who the father is?" And I said, I looked up into his patronizing, indicting eyes, and I said, "Who knows, doctor? I don't know. Could have been, I don't know, one of a couple dozen sailors. It's a crapshoot, really." Dr. Hare, and then he said, "Do you know what you want to do?" I said, yes, I believe I'm going to have an abortion. And he said, "Are you sure?" I said, yes. I was on birth control. I said to him, "I'm on birth control. I'm 19. I'm from a very low-income family. I'm full-time at college on scholarship, as well as working 2 part-time jobs. I'm sure." He handed me a Kleenex. "Here, you're going to need this." I handed it back, and I headed to Planned Parenthood. We all know women make these decisions, not doctors, not priests, not lawmakers, women. Time's up. We're no longer going to wait for permission to challenge oppressive religious beliefs and misogyny and horrific notions of controlling the very fabric of women's destinies. We are confident, we are courageous, and we aren't fucking going anywhere. The key is how important it is for us to stay united. I know we all have different beliefs, we have views, we have backgrounds, and believe me, I've been in this movement for a very long time. They clash. But we also know we must stay committed and together if we want to achieve reproductive freedom and fiercely support humans' right to choose.
Yes, sir.
Because and you all know this, the anti-choice and white supremacist movements intersect, we see why women in red states, we see them watching their rights dissolve. It is so scary, it makes me sick to my stomach. Rights that were legally implemented 50 years ago are disappearing. Not only do they face misogyny and racism and exorbitant fees, but the fallout of unsafe, illegal abortions. Women are back to having to travel long distances, leave their families and their jobs and their support networks, and to obtain abortions. And as we all know, many, many aren't safe. We're hopeful. We're hopeful. We're thankful to you. We're hopeful that days like today give us strength and give us hope. Look we're all unique. We all have different points of view. We have different voices. We have different favorites in the lunch line. I prefer broccoli and cauliflower with mushrooms and olive oil. That difference is actually healthy for a revolution. To preserve rights and our bodies, it's important to fiercely stay together on this issue. I implore you, please stay fiercely together on this issue, right where we're at the intersection of affordable, accessible, safe abortions for all who choose. Look it, we all know that 2021 was a fucking bummer for reproductive rights. It was the worst recent year on history, a record for attacks on abortion care. But my friends, my chilly friends in the beautiful coats, welcome 2022. Step right in. We are ready now. We are united. We are immovable. And until we can assure all humans have the right to make decisions that affect their families, their health, their lives, we continue to fight for the right to choose. Abortion must be
And without apology.
And without apology.
Abortion on demand.
Abortion on demand.
And without apology.
And without apology.
That's right. Give yourselves a hand. I want to take a minute because look, everybody here looking out at the crowd, looking at all of your beautiful faces, y'all are in the right place. And I want you guys to take a second, look at the person next to you and introduce yourself to them and get connected up with them. If you're a student, find those students. If you're a professional, find those professionals. Let's build these kinds of networks where it doesn't just end today, but where we build these networks where we're going out to these different sections and we're challenging them. Look, in a moment where the majority of the people are silently accepting as the Supreme Court is getting ready to gut the right to abortion, you came into the streets. You took the time. You took the day off, whether it is from school, whether it is from work, and you showed the fuck up into the streets. And that has to be applauded. You're the first, but it can't end here. We have to go and get the rest of the people. We have to go challenge them, but we also have to unite with them. Because we know that people care about this. We know that people don't want to live in a world where women are forced to become mothers against their will. But we got to challenge them. That now is the time to put something on the line. Because we are in an abortion rights emergency. That's why we're here in the streets. And that's why we're taking example from our sisters and our brothers in all different parts of the world that are doing what needs to be done. And we got to do that here in this country. And we got to protect the right to abortion because, God damn it, that should be our fucking basic right. Bare fucking minimum. Women should have this right. And the fact that this has been up for debate is outrageous. And that's why we march, and that's why we scream, and that's why we chant, and that's why we're here. And we gotta keep coming out, and we gotta keep growing. Bruce Price.
So I remember George Tiller as my older next door neighbor growing up in Wichita, Kansas. And I remember the rage I felt when I heard that he was assassinated on May the 31st, 2009. He was in his church. He was an usher in the foyer. His wife was singing in the choir. He was wearing his usual body armor. And this converted to Christianity. In 2013, 4 years after his murder, his clinic manager, Julie Burkhart, reopened the clinic and in George's honor, named it Trust Women. And George meant that, trust women. They had the right, they had the intuition to control their own reproductive freedom. In 2016, inspired by George's life, I joined the board of directors at Trust Women. And I'm proud to say that as of last year, we have clinics in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and Wichita, Kansas. And between the two, we performed 3,600 abortions and saved the lives of 3,600 women. And I'm also happy to say that in the Wichita clinic alone, given increased staffing, given some more renovations, we plan to offer abortions just this year to 5,000 women. 5,000 women. And because of the intimidation of physicians in Kansas, turns out I'm the only physician on the board of directors at Trust Women. And I get that. And thank you, but we need more. We need more, we need more. And I'm also deeply pleased to report that both clinics offer full reproductive rights to the LGBTQ community. So we think we are in the right spot in history. Understanding, even though he knew that he might be murdered, even though he knew that he might be murdered, he often said, intimidation makes me stronger. Intimidation makes me stronger. If he were alive today, I believe that in body and spirit, he would join us in the streets, these streets, to resist and defeat the current assault on women, to demonstrate in word and deed that every woman and every girl should have a future as full and equal human beings, and that indeed forced motherhood is female enslavement. So I was in medical school in 1973 when the Roe v. Wade decision came down from the Supreme Court in a 7-2 vote, by the way. Remember that, a 7-2 vote, January 1973, and simply legalized abortion. I remember that the elation that almost every one of us felt, that no woman had to undergo an illegal abortion anymore, that no doctor had to deny a woman, a safe abortion. Older physicians, no doubt in this city, probably at Bellevue, remembered the days of failed back alley abortions and of young women who filled the medical and hospital wards, many who died from bloodstream infections or hemorrhages. There was a collective sigh of relief. Thank goodness, we said, never again. Thank goodness, we said, never again. And if you want a nightmare, imagine this country post Roe v. Wade. Imagine that, a nightmare, a nightmare, a nightmare. We thought we had it clinched. If a fetus had a severe abnormality or the mother's emotional or physical health was at stake. He said that there would always be a need for late abortion. Nature makes mistakes. In 1986, a bomb caused $100,000 damage to the clinic. 3 days later, Tiller put up a sign amid all the debris proclaiming, "Hell no, we won't go." People that have been around know that phrase in the anti-war Vietnam protest movement. "Hell no, we won't go. We're here to stay," he said. In June of 1991, the anti-abortion group Operation Rescue converged on Wichita and for 46 days attempted to blockade young women from going to his clinic. In August of 1992, after 4 protesters chained themselves to the clinic gates, he stormed out of the clinic, still dressed in his doctor's coat, walked to the gate, grabbed a microphone from a stunned TV camera operator, and George, as a former member of the Republican Party, lashed out at President George H.W. Bush and the Republican Party, saying they were controlled by, quote, religious fanatics. That was 1991. This right here represents what the Republican Party is all about right now, he said, and how right he was. I already mentioned the assassination of Dr. Gunn, of Dr. Slepian, and Dr. Tiller. Finally, later in life, when George was asked, "Why are you doing this? Why don't you retire? You're such an obvious target," he replied, "I have to. I can't leave the women. There's no one else to help them." He felt that he gave women back their dreams. So, what can you do? First, sign the statement, distribute it, debate it, family, friends, workplace colleagues. Second, understand that fundamental change only happens when masses like this begin to rise up, swarm the streets, and demand. And third, donate money and time. Ending with a final challenge to my healthcare colleagues, which I'm sure they're out there, and which I'm almost sure almost everyone would defend.
My name is Bayla Krause. I'm 15 years old, and I'm angry. Currently, as most of us know, the Supreme Court is trying to overturn Roe v. Wade, stripping millions of women of their bodily autonomy and their legal right to a safe abortion. These same people that growing up, I was told were there to protect me and my freedoms. But obviously, I am here having to fight for my own freedom. For a long time, this seemed